I was out walking today here at the ashram in an area that I hadn't explored yet and saw this beautiful white marble statue, the sun glistening off of the surfaces, beautiful flowers and landscaping. You can tell this is a very honored and sacred sculpture. And I was so drawn to its inherent beauty. I started approaching, and the closer I got, the more I felt an energy, a very powerfully loving presence. As I got even closer, I noticed that it appeared to be a sculpture of an elephant, and yet with a human-looking body, seated, very big, probably, 7-8 feet tall on a stone pedestal with beautiful flowers and gardening arrangements and such all around. And as I approached, I kept feeling this energy stronger and stronger and stronger. And as I got very close, all of a sudden it was as if I had stepped into a river and I was pulled by the current of this river. But there's not a river, but there was a river of energy that I was now in. And I was walking clockwise around this circular base that this carving, this white marble carving, was sitting on. Round and round I walked clockwise around the base, and each time I would come around to the front and see the elephant being, I would want to stop and say hello, but the energy was so strong I couldn't stop going clockwise, walking around and around. Then I began to hear a song, a melody of some sort. Beautiful melody. Oh, oh. It sounded so familiar to me. Somehow I know this melody. And at that point in my journey, I knew the Sanskrit word om, and so this melody was some sort of om chant. Round and round we went, the melody and I and the energy and the elephant being, and round and round and round, and the energy expanding, expanding, expanding. I don't know how many times I went around, but it was very many times, around and around and around. Eventually, it was like getting used to that elevated state of energy, and I could then stand without being swept away by it. And I was now facing the elephant being. And this is going to be impossible to put into words, but I started to feel that this wasn't just a white marble sculpture. This was an alive being. I felt an energy at the base of my spine, tingling, like awakening, enlivening, and rising slowly up the very center of my spinal column, vertically up, 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 up. Powerful, loving, vibrational energy slowly ascending up my spinal column. And this being was coming ever more alive to me, this elephant being. And the energy kept going up, 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 up. And when I got to my heart center, my heart just opened up. I felt so much love. I just wanted to climb up on the statue and hug my old friend. Somehow I know you. You're my old friend. And I'm crying and laughing, and the energy continued up, 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 and then right out the top of my head, just blasted wide open, everything that I am. And I could feel the presence of this being, my old, dear friend. Very playfully, I could hear my old friend say to me, "Call me Ganapati." Oh, yes, that's right. That's your name, Ganapati. Yes, old friend. As I say, I wanted to climb up and hug my old friend, but I had enough awareness to understand that was probably, not within the normal traditions. So I energetically hugged my old friend. Ganapati, yes, Ganapati. So playful, so vibrant, so familiar to me. My old friend, it was a reunion in the heart of being. Oh my goodness. And next thing I know, I'm walking clockwise again. I'm back in the river, going clockwise around the base of this statue. Round and round we go together. And my awareness just expanding. I'm hearing the melody again. That original melody, I heard it. And now it became Ganapati Om. Ganapati Om. Om. Ganapati Om. Om. Round and round we went. It was like we were singing and dancing together, an original melody that has been chanted for eons and eons. Now I'm back in front of my old friend looking up at Ganapati, and there is a communication revealing to me, I've been with you all along. Thank you so much for being in this life. I'm available to everyone. I support and love and honor all of you. You all are what I am. Divine, eternal, pure, absolute essence. And you have chosen to come into this life. Thank you so much for being willing to be here. I know that it can be challenging and difficult at times. And yet, always there is the possibility with every challenge and every difficulty to let that be a catalyst for you to go even deeper into the very essence that permeates even all of the challenges and all of the difficulties. Everything is an expression of this divine source energy. No matter whatever is occurring, it is an expression of this one absolute energy. All of this was revealed non-verbally. I'm giving words to something that was a non-verbal communication. It then became clear that it was complete, and to move along to my next activity on the schedule. It was sort of like the way a parent would lovingly express to the child to, head on off to class now. It's time for you to go to your next thing. And, I'm always with you. I'm always available to you. I'm available to everyone. It's as simple as being available, to invite yourself into the possibility of feeling my presence with you at all times. Wow. I thanked my old friend, went on my way back to my room. The rooms were very meager accommodations, and in each room there were 4 sets of bunk beds. And I was going back to my room to get my, meditation cushion and my journal and my water bottle and go on to my next thing on the schedule. And as I was about to open up the door, someone from the inside was opening the door. And we ended up face to face, standing in the threshold of the doorway. And it was a man from India that I had met the day before. And he looked at me, and with his beautiful Indian accent, he says, "Oh my goodness, what has happened to you? You are emanating light. Please tell me what has happened." I said, I'm what? And he said, you are emanating light. Oh, please tell me what has happened. Well, I was just out on a walk in an area of the ashram grounds that I hadn't been to before, and I saw this beautiful white marble statue of an elephant being. He said, oh yes, that is Ganesha. And we do not call it a statue, we call it a murti. It is a murti of the divine one we call Ganesha. And I was a little confused because that wasn't the name that my old friend revealed to me. My old friend said, call me Ganapati. And this wonderful man just said his name is Ganesha. So I was wondering about that, but then he said, oh, please, tell me, what did you experience with this Ganesha Murti out there in the courtyard? Oh, okay, well, yes. As I approached, the energy field was so strong, and then right as I got right up near the base of the pedestal that Ganesha, as you said, is on, I was pulled into an energy around the base, clockwise. He said, oh my goodness, how did you know to do that? I said, what do you mean? That is what we do. It's called pradakshina. You walk clockwise around the murti. Oh my goodness, tell me more, what else happened? I said, well, as I start walking around, as I'm feeling this energy, it was like being in a river of energy, I start to hear a melody, an Om melody. And I sang a little bit for him. And he said, oh, that is so beautiful. What happened next? I said, well, then eventually after going round and round and round, many times, clockwise around and round we went, I could then stand in the energy without being moved by it. And I looked at this murti, and it was no longer just a white marble murti. It was a being who came alive and felt like an old friend of mine. And I felt an energy at the base of my spine, enlivening, awakening, and rising vertically up. And when it got to my heart center, so much love, and I started sobbing and crying, and I wanted to climb up on the murti and hug my old friend. He said, you didn't do that, did you? And I said, no, I didn't do that. He said, okay, good. Tell me what happened next, he said. I said, well, I was energetically hugging my old friend. And in that moment, I heard him say to me very playfully, call me Ganapati. As soon as I said that to this Indian man standing there right in front of me in the threshold of the doorway, he fell to the ground, bowing at my feet, holding, his hands were touching my feet. And I could feel an energy coming from Ganapati into me and then out of my heart center and flowing like a loving beam of energy right into his heart at my feet. And I could feel that it was releasing old energies in his heart that were being released out into the universe and clearing away, allowing him to feel this love that was being shared from Ganapati through me and into him. And this energy flow was so powerful and so loving. My whole body was vibrating as this was happening. It was a transmission of pure love from Ganapati through me to him. And it lasted for quite a while, probably 7, 8 minutes, who knows? It wasn't just a few seconds. It was minutes and minutes and minutes of this powerful flow of energy. Eventually, I could feel Ganapati sort of like letting me know 3, 2, 1, and like turning off a faucet. Whew. My whole body was still vibrating. He was still at my feet. He had held onto my feet the whole time. After many more minutes, we're just, both of us vibrating in this energy. He raised his torso up. He was still down on his knees, raised up his torso with his hands together at his heart. And he looked at me and he said, "Do you know what has happened?" I said, "I have no idea." That was amazing. Pure love was flowing from Ganapati right through me and into you. He said, yes, thank you so much. And he was crying and taking big, deep breaths, and he couldn't say much for another several minutes, and he was just looking up at me and with such gratitude and love and kindness in his gaze. Oh, it was just so beautiful. And then he finally said to me, "My heart has opened. I am now experiencing that what I am is this absolute love. That I have always been and will always be." We laughed and we cried. And I was gesturing for him to stand up for a hug. And so he came up and we had a hug. Oh, beautiful, sweet reunion in the heart hug. We sat down on my bed. My bed was the first one to the right. I was on a bottom bunk. We sat down on the bed side by side, and he said to me, "You must have a very ancient connection to this being that we in modern times call Ganesha, because many people wouldn't know this, but Ganesha's original name was Ganapati." Oh, and I just started crying when he said that. Oh my goodness. Wow. He's crying again. We're hugging. Amazing shared experience of the absolute love of our dear friend Ganapati, also known as Ganesha. He went on to share with me that this being is known all around the world by many names. He said he's actually known around the world by 108 names. And he is a friend to all beings, available to anyone and everyone. And it's as simple as opening and being available and inviting him in. This was the beginning of a beautiful friendship that he and I were able to experience together. In every moment, in every heartbeat, in every in-breath and every out-breath, we can open ourselves up to the subtlety of reality. There is the form realm. That is all true and real. And all of it is an expression, a vibration of the subtlety of reality, the source essence that expresses itself as all of the density. All of the subtlety and the density is actually one elegant wholeness.